was the boogeyman.
As a matter of fact, it was.
What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about who could be the next filmmaker to step in and direct Scream 7, replacing Christopher Landon, who exited the project late last year, as two names have shot up my leaderboard to helm the next film. If you haven't done so already, please shoot this video a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton, as well as if you happen to be a new viewer coming across this channel, please shoot that subscribe button as well as that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. Okay everyone, so as you are all well aware, Scream 7 is in disarray after the events that took place towards the end of the year, with the studio for the project firing its lead actress in Melissa Barrera, as well as Jenna Ortega exiting the project, culminating in director Christopher Landon stepping down as director. And though many are skeptical a 7th film even proceeds to be made at this point, there is still hope that we get a new director to helm the next film, especially given the fact that both James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick, who wrote Scream 5 and 6, are back to write the next film. There was speculation Busick may not be returning, but this was put to bed 2 weeks ago. With that being said, after recently rewatching episodes of Scream the TV series, as well as remembering an interesting fact about one of our characters in Scream 6 that Radiosilence spoke about in an interview after 6's release, I believe these two names are very possible to step in and direct the 7th film. The first thing that I will touch on is Tai West. Many of you know Tai as the director behind both X and Pearl, two more recent slashers that has garnered high praise by horror fans. But what many of you may not know is that Tai is linked to Scream in some capacity, as he directed episode 9 for the TV show's first season. Now I know the movies and the show don't link in terms of storyline, but the fact of the matter is that we don't know what story Scream 7 is going to tell, given all the creative changes. It's very possible, in my opinion, that if we don't get Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and other legacy stars to return for Scream 7, not only could they bring in a new cast, but a cast that is actually familiar to fans of both the films and the TV show, as Scream 7 could serve as a feature film and finale to the Lakewood storyline from the TV show's first 2 seasons. And if this were the direction that Scream 7 would take, especially if they would get the main cast members and Willa Fitzgerald, Bex Taylor Klaus, and John Connor to reprise their roles from the TV show, what better person to direct than Tai, being that he has a working relationship with them, even if it was just for one episode. With that being said, whether it's to do a Scream film finishing the Lakewood storyline from the TV show's first 2 seasons, continuing on the original timeline, creating a new timeline for our legacy characters, or starting from scratch completely, given his credibility for making a great slasher flick and his link to Scream the TV show, makes Tai West a viable candidate to direct Scream 7. The second name that I will touch on that I think has a potential to direct Scream 7 is Jason Carvey, who is a writer/director who did the screenplay for 2021 thriller Till Death that stars Megan Fox. Now that name Jason Carvey sounds awfully familiar in Scream fans' ears, as in Scream 6 we were introduced to the character Jason Carvey, a film student who is a massive Stab fan who is obsessed with finishing Scream 5 killer Richie Kirsch's movie. What many of you may not know is that the Jason Carvey character in Scream 6 is a nod to Jason Carvey, the writer/director himself, as this was confirmed by Radiosilence in one of their post-Scream 6 release interviews. I cannot remember the exact platform the interview took place on, as it was months ago, but that revelation really stood out to me once I remembered the quote, because think of how meta that would be, to create a character based on this real-life director, only to have the guy you base this character off of direct the next installment in the franchise. It doesn't get any more vintage Scream than that if you ask me. Add in the fact that writers Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt, who created the Jason Carvey character in Scream 6, are back writing for Scream 7, given it seems they have a lot of admiration for Carvey himself to create him as a character, makes a ton of sense for Carvey to come in and direct Scream 7, especially if both writers would approach the studio with the pitch for it to happen. Though the 7th film is in a lot of turmoil, I'm still optimistic the film gets made, and based on what I touched on here in the video, I think West and Carvey are both in the discussion to be the next director of Scream 7. But okay everyone, that is it for this video. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think about Tai West or Jason Carvey directing Scream 7 based on what I discussed, as well as let me know who you would like to see direct the film as Christopher Landon's replacement. Once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. Thank you all for watching.